Lytudiep. Hello everyone. CEO James and Tu Diep hold a wedding ceremony. How will men react to? Tu Diep quietly walked on the dirt road leading to the eggplant field. The morning sun shines down on the fruit-laden trees. She carefully selected each ripe eggplant and placed it in the basket, then carried it on his shoulder towards the market. Today the market is more crowded than usual. Tu Diep is rearranging the stall. Then, a familiar voice rang out behind. Have you sold out yet? She turned around to see James, standing there in a simple suit, but still exudes the style of a CEO. He is not as cold as before, whose eyes are filled with concern. What are you doing here? She asked. Both surprised and happy. Do you want to see me? James replied briefly, and then quietly bought all the eggplants she just showed. Tu Diep smiled, but in her heart arose a vague uneasiness. After meeting the Diep at the market, James continued to meet a close friend, Tuo, an agricultural expert. They met in a vast rice field, where James is investing in a new rice seed project. Tuon looked at the golden rice fields and patted his shoulder, groaning. This rice variety is very good. But are you sure you will continue to invest in it? Your company is in trouble. James took a deep breath. You know me, I don't give up easily. Tuon nodded and looked at James more seriously. But I see you worry too much about company matters. What about love? James paused a bit. What do you mean? Tuon smiled faintly. Do you truly love Tu Diep? James was silent. If you are sincere, give her a title. Don't let people think you're just having fun. James is stunned. I never thought about this too seriously. But Tuon's words were like a knife. Hit the nail on the head. That afternoon James went to Diep's house. She was sitting on the porch, her hands deftly making cakes. The smell of sticky rice, mixed with the fragrant scent of banana leaves. James sat down next to her and looked at her intently. What kind of cake are you making? Do you want to try sticky rice cake? James nodded. She gave him a small piece of cake. I also took a bite. Just halfway through eating, Tu Diep suddenly felt nauseous. She dropped the cake and ran into the house. James panicked. He ran to see her clinging to the door, pale. What's wrong? Tu Diep shook his head. But in his heart he felt uneasy. Unable to rest assured, James immediately called a private doctor to the house. When the doctor examined Tu Diep, James sat anxiously on the porch, his heart pounding. A moment later the doctor came out and spoke softly. It looks like she is pregnant. James was stunned. What do you say? Tu Diep has signs of morning sickness. We need to do more testing to be sure. James was struck by lightning. I didn't expect this to happen so quickly. I am confused. He loves her. But is he ready to be a father? Will Tu Diep accept to enter his life? Or will she choose to leave him because of too many differences? James stood silently in front of the door, looking at the night sky. A new chapter has begun. But can you face it? In the small room there became suffocatingly quiet. Tu Diep sat on the bed, both hands clutching the blanket tightly. She could not believe what the doctor had just said. I am pregnant, she muttered, her hand unconsciously placed on her stomach. She never thought this would come so soon. She and James never discussed the future, ever thought about marriage. But now, a little life was slowly taking shape inside her body. James stood by the door, looking at her with complicated eyes. You are not a man easily panic in any situation. But now he finds himself losing control. He walked over and sat down next to her. Are you scared? His voice was deep but a little worried. Tu Diep did not know how to respond. She is not afraid. But most of all, she wondered that is James really ready for this or not? What about you? What do you think about this? James was silent for a long time. He is not good at expressing emotions. But this time he couldn't escape. He was surprised, but he did not run away. James said softly, his eyes looking at her a little more gently. I need time to think, but one thing is for sure. I will not leave you alone. Tu Diep said nothing, just bowed his head. Can she trust this promise? After hearing the news that Tu Diep was pregnant, James became more pensive. He is no longer just interested in work, but also have to face the biggest responsibility of his life. I remember Tuan's words. If you love her, give her a title. James is not an irresponsible man. But with a person of his background, marriage is not simple. His parents had an unhappy marriage, and that haunts him to this day. I'm always afraid that if I get married, we're not really ready. He will repeat his parents' mistakes. But this time he couldn't avoid it. He loves Tu Diep, and now she is carrying his child. After many days of thinking, James decided to go to Tu Diep's house. Her uncle looked at him with stern eyes. What are you doing here? James took a deep breath and spoke clearly. I came to talk about me and Tu Diep. Uncle Tu Diep was silent. Tu Diep stands in a corner, looked at James with an unreadable expression. Uncle, I love Tu Diep, and now she is pregnant. The house fell into absolute silence. Tu Diep's uncle looked at him in surprise, then looked at his niece. Is it true? Her voice was trembling. Tu Diep nodded slightly. James clenched his hands and looked determined. I want to take responsibility. I want to marry Tu Diep. James's words shook the whole room. Uncle Tu Diep looked at him for a long time, then sighed. You say it easy. But do you really love her, or is it just the child? James looked her straight in the eye and spoke with conviction. I love her. I loved her before I knew she was pregnant. Uncle Tu Diep still nodded in no hurry. Do you dare promise me that you will never leave it? James did not hesitate. He knelt down with sincere eyes. I promise. Tu Diep looked at James in shock. She didn't expect him to do that. That night after coming home, James took Tu Diep to a special place, a field of wildflowers under the moonlight. He turned to her with a gentle gaze. I thought a lot. Tu Diep is silent. James took her hand and slowly knelt down. Tu Diep, I'm not good at saying flowery words, but I know I can't lose you. From the pocket, he took out a simple but elegant ring. Be my wife. Tu Diep looked at him, tears falling down unconsciously. She never thought that one day, the man knelt before her guy, give her the most sincere proposal. She nodded slightly. The goat smiled gently and put the ring on her hand. That night the sky was full of stars, like witnessing the sacred moment of the people. After accepting James's proposal, Tu Diep's life turns a new page. She is no longer just a simple country girl, but became the fiancée of a powerful CEO. This marriage is not just a love affair, but also related to the James family, to the complex relationships in the business world. Can they keep the love when the storm has not stopped? Can James really protect her before the enemies, who always want to harm him? A new beginning has come, but the storm ahead is not over yet. After Tu Diep accepted James's proposal, both started preparing for the wedding. James wants to have a grand wedding, let the world know that he loves her. But Tu Diep was not used to that luxury. I just need a simple wedding, witnessed by family and loved ones, she said softly. James looked at her for a long time and then nodded. Okay, we will have a cozy wedding but still have full meaning. However, it is not that simple. James's parents were upper-class people. It is not easy to accept a country girl as a daughter-in-law in their family. When James announced his mother's wedding, James' mother could not hide her displeasure. Are you kidding, James? I am a CEO, I can marry anyone. Why am I a poor girl? James clenched his fist. I don't care if she is rich or poor. I just know that I love her. James' mother was angry. Do you know this marriage? How will it affect my family's reputation? OT to mention she was pregnant before marriage. If this news is true, what do you think people will say? James couldn't take it anymore. I don't care what people say. I only care about my happiness. If you marry her, I will disown you, James's mother said coldly. James smiled faintly. If you really think so, then you never understood me. He turned and left, leaving his mother in anger. Tu Diep knew what happened and looked at James with worried eyes. If your family doesn't accept me or us. James put his finger on her lips to stop her from continuing. You are the one I choose. No one can change his decision. Tu Diep was touched, but she was still worried. Is their love strong enough to overcome it all? The wedding day has finally arrived. Although James's family did not fully accept, but they can't stop him. The wedding took place at an outdoor garden, with the presence of friends and relatives. Tu Diep wears a simple but elegant wedding dress. When she walked out, James couldn't take his eyes off her. I know that from this moment, she will be his companion for life. The wedding took place with everyone's blessings. But when they both exchanged rings, something unexpected happened. Let's predict. Thank you very much.